Yo, how's everybody going tonight? I am trying to get things set up here with the dev kit. It crashed on me right as I literally hit start on the live stream. So with it crashing and having to restart it, I figured I would just come in here and have a little chat session if anybody is wanting to chat and kind of dis- discuss where we're going with this mod and what we're planning to do. This is a brand new mod. I literally started just laying out the simple framework last night and decided I wanted to wait until tonight when I could stream with it to be able to put it out there for the world. So it is called Conflict Zones because there's been a lot of people that have asked me for a way to make an area on a PvE map PvP, and unfortunately that's just not possible. But we can take a PvP map and we can essentially emulate PvE, if that makes sense. So thinking it through in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, I could probably do that. So I'm going to attempt to do this, and if I can get it set up the way that I want to do it, I might even add this functionality to a server or two of mine so that we can have some like exclusivity to it and kind of have a very unique setup for my server cluster. So the idea is still there. Give me 1 second. I gotta do something else here real fast. You know what? Getting there, guys. Give me just a second. I'm almost there. Just got to copy one last thing here to get things situated. I think I screwed up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we are. Let me get this pulled back up here. I have the dev kit up. Let me just make sure I can go to the correct file, which is what crashed it last time. And I did. We're good to go. So let's switch on over. Turkey, hello. If I said that right. If not, I'm sorry. Turkey 4000. This chat window, I wish I could bring it over a little bit. I have no way to pop it out. Okay, anyway, so what we are planning to do here, everything can be heard just fine, hopefully. You can hear me, you can hear the music. If it's too loud on either one of them, let me know. But basically, all I've done, I have created a just a blank map here. Let me make sure. I did do some testing of some other stuff on here, so let me make sure that it's set up correct. It is on the correct one. Let's do this. And let me just get this running in the background while I talk for a minute. So, what is conflict zones? I kind of briefly touched on it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to create a mod that is going to be designed for specifically designed to specifically be used on a PvP server. Like, the server should be set up as PvP. However, it'll take that PvP server and it'll turn it into a PvE server, so players and tames and structures cannot get damaged or hurt by other players or tamed creatures. And the structures won't be able to take any damage at all if it's placed inside the PvE area. However, the admin of said server can go and place down zones that will be allowed to have PvP in them. The question was asked, do you think there anything good in Aquatica that modders can port to ASA? I have no idea. I haven't looked at Aquatica, and I don't care to look at Aquatica or anything about it, to be honest with you. I just refuse to partake in anything to do with Aquatica. I don't even like saying the name Aquatica, to be honest with you. I think that the way that they are handling the whole situation and the disrespect toward the community is just next level. So I don't like it. Nomana, is that overlay on the right 1/3 of the screen intended? It's hard to see the dev kit on that side. Are you talking about it's supposed to be the chat. I could actually get rid of that. If it's not showing up, then there's kind of no point in being there. Can you still see the chat window of you guys talking? Like, can you see, whoops, without that there, can you see this? If you can, then cool. We'll leave it off. It's intended to be the chat window. It's supposed to have everything that's happening that I see over here on my chat screen. It should be showing up on the window. But if it's not, it's not. Then we'll just skip past it. Not a big deal. And why is this? This didn't get positioned correctly here. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So. First things first, I assume that anybody that would find this video later would have already seen a previous video of mine or other videos out there that explain how to set up a new mod. Like, if you're brand new and you're just getting started, you open up the dev kit, how do you even start making a mod? Last I saw, the player base was about even between ASE and ASA. It went back and forth on day to day. It really was like literally neck and neck, back and forth. Some days ASE had more, some days ASA had more. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not a competition. But just the simple fact that Snail Games said, hey, we're going to put this new map on official servers, but temporarily and only for 5 months till the end of the year. That is, in my opinion, very disrespectful, because the player base has already been, they've already had everything that they've ever worked for on the official servers ripped away from them when everything switched to ASA, and told, we're done with ASE, we're not going to support ASE anymore, we're not going to do anything with the official servers for ASE, so you need to go to ASA. Or you need to go to an unofficial server on ASE if you want to continue playing ASE. And that's what everybody did that still was playing ASE. So they already have their players, they've got all their teams, they've got their base and their whole tribe on an unofficial server. Now Snail Games comes in and says, hey, we're making official servers? Like, who's going to do that, for one? Nobody. And for two, even if they do that, they're setting themselves up to have it all ripped away in 5 months again anyway. Nobody wants to go through that again. It was already a pain in the butt the first time. Nobody wants to do that. It's too painful, and it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I just did that to get that out of the way. So, okay, so here we go. Starting out fresh with a new mod, you go to the UGC tab up here at the top. It stands for User Generated Content, and you go to Create Mod, and then you're going to go to Blank Mod. You're going to click Blank Mod. You're going to type in the name of it, and you're going to click type your name as the author and click Create Mod. I'm not going to do that because I already have it to save us a little bit of time, and you're going to end up with this, and another level, a yellow one here that says Blank Mod level. I delete that Blank Mod one every single time, and then I go in and I hit F2 so that I can change the name of it. So if you see here, it says mod data asset underscore, and then it'll usually say blank mod underscore blank mod. I got rid of blank mod and I put the name of the mod that I'm using, conflict zones. And I did the same thing for the primal game data BP, and I did the same thing for the test map area. So test map area underscore conflict zones, primal game data underscore BP underscore conflict zones, mod data asset underscore conflict zones. So we have all three of those renamed, and then I then went in and I made I made the file for the buff. So I'll show you how I did that. I right click over here and I go to blueprint class, and anytime you're bringing in a buff, because this buff is what's going to be what we use. What's going on here? It's taking forever. There we go. That's what we're going to put onto the players to have everything work. So we're going to look for primal buff, and we're going to click here. We click primal buff, and then we hit select, and then it allows us to make it, and that's what we did. And I just renamed it buff underscore conflict zones. This one is the same concept. Right click, and then you're going to go to save game actor. You click a save game actor, you click select, and it creates this. And I named it CCA. I don't remember what CCA stands for. It's just something that I've used for years. Not years, for the past year and a half or so that I've been making mods. But this is basically the save game actor that holds all of the information. Any information that you need the server to hold on to, you put it in the save game actor. Now the save game actor, when you open it up, you need to do a couple of things. Over here in the right, you need to say always always relevant. You need to checkbox that, and then you need to type in replicates and click that. Now you don't always have to do that, but good rule of thumb, because sometimes you don't need it to replicate, but usually you do. So I went ahead and I just always do that. So I do those two things, and that is set up. And then all I've done so far is on begin play, I got the game mode, and I cast to the shooter game mode. And then anytime that, and I did a binding, so that means that anytime a player spawns, so on the event of a player spawning, we also want to tack on this event. So we're binding this event to the event of a player spawning. So what it's going to do is this event is going to say, hey, does this player have our buff, our conflict zone buff? If they do, over here, true, do nothing. Don't do anything because they already got it. We're good to go. If they don't have it, go ahead and add it onto them. And that's it. That's all we're doing so far. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and save that because it likes, anytime you move things around, it likes to say you need to save it. Let me get rid of things that I don't need on here. And that's up to speed. That's everything that I've done so far. So that's up to speed. We are right there where everybody's at. Okay, so then you have to go into your mod data asset for conflict zones. And then you have to, in here, you have to say singleton. So you type single. So it says server extra world singleton actor classes. It's a big long one. You're going to go over here to add an element. And then you can easily just click on your singleton actor, which is basically your save game actor. It's got like 5 different names. So you click on it, and if it's, so long as it's highlighted, I'm sorry, I hit Control and Spacebar to bring up my content drawer. So long as it's highlighted, you can hit this arrow with a circle around it, and it automatically fills it in. So by doing that, now what this is going to say is anytime we go in here and we start into, oh shit, did I put that on the right one? that just got me there for a second. Yeah, I did. Okay, that needs to close. Okay. Whew. Scared me. So anytime we go in here, we can literally go onto the player. The player hasn't spawned right now, so we're not going to have anything. So if I were to go into my inventory, give it a few seconds here. Eat this, it kills me. And then I respawn. I should. Let's do just, because I may not have it set up so it shows that. So let me just type in cheat, list my buffs, and then I hit tab again. Listing buffs for play. No, I don't have it yet. Okay. So for some reason it didn't give me the buff when I spawned. Oh, I know why. I'm silly. This is a bug with the dev kit. Anytime you change anything in the mod data asset, you have to essentially tell the level that you're not using any primal game data, and you start up the level, let it start, close it, and then add it back in. Save it so that it's on there, and then now when we start it, we should have it. It's so silly. It's been a bug in the dev kit for almost a year now, and they still haven't fixed it. So, you know, big surprise, right? There it is. There's no image, there's no name, nothing, but it's there. You know, we have it. We haven't done anything with it. It doesn't do anything just yet. So let's go ahead and close that out. So we're good to go. We know we have our buff. So now we go to our buff, and we want to click the open full blueprint editor so we can actually start messing around with stuff. Hey, Pasha Tiger, thank you for the follow. I definitely appreciate that. So a lot of buffs, a lot of things in buffs is going to be done on the side here, the details. For instance, this one, let's go to name. So modifier name, we want to say conflict zones. I don't think we want to do anything, actually. Yeah, I don't want to do anything at all, actually. So my fault. Let's do let's take it off of the HUD. We know it's there, so we don't need to see there. So we're going to say hide buff from HUD. So boom, done. So it'll no longer show up that the player's never going to see that they have it. Hey, no problem. I get it. I think I have people follow it all the time, and I jump in, and apparently I don't. So, with the buff, what we're going to do is I think the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the instigator, which the instigator is whoever owns the buff, so player, tame, whatever. So we're going to cast to shooter character. And I think I want to do apply damage. Maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do that. Bind event to on-take any damage. That's what I want to do. I had to think about that for a minute. Let's go add event. I always forget what to do here. Incoming damage. Okay, so the damage causer needs to be if it's another player, fine. Otherwise, cast a primal dino. Stupid thing, I hate when it does that. So we're going to check to see if it's player first. And we're going to check is tamed. So for that, for a branch, I hold down the B button and I click on the graph somewhere and it brings the branch in. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in chat. I'm going to, sometimes I get in the zone and I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to keep looking over as much as I can to pay attention to the chat as much as possible. Okay. If incoming damage is from the shooter character or from a tamed, I need the damage amount. Damaged actor. Damage actor is going to be the same. Nope. That can't happen that way. Okay. Alright, so hold on a second. So for the player that we are, if that player takes any damage from any other player, which one of these would be shooter character? Is that right? I don't know if that's right. See, because I don't want there's a default settings that says I can't type. It says can be damaged. It's just that easy. But I don't want to do that because that's going to prevent. I can't type again. That's going to prevent all damage incoming completely. Maybe there's something on here. Yes, there we go. Maybe all this is not needed. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. Okay, so if the incoming damage is from a shooter character, there we go. Incoming damage is from shooter character or from a dino that's tamed. If it is tamed, we want the damage to be 0. Otherwise, if it's neither one of those, or if it's, no, that's not right. So basically what this is saying is if the damage that's coming in is from player, another player, set the damage to 0. The output damage is going to be 0 regardless of what's coming in. If it's from a dino that is tamed, also 0. If it's a not tamed dino, then we can take normal damage. We can take whatever the normal damage amount would be when it comes in. We don't want any kind of like projectile or explosion or anything like that to hurt us. I mean, maybe explosion. That's just a hit actor. Okay, I don't care about that. That should do it for now. Let's try that for a second. We don't need any of that. But I do want to. I think I want to do a. Thank you, Turkey. I appreciate that. I think I want to do some sort of an icon on the screen that would show which zone we're in. Yeah. What was that called? Yeah, oh, I didn't mean to do that either. Dang it. Not a function, I need a variable. I'm going to call it conflict zone question mark. Actually, I'm going to rename it. Is in conflict zone question mark. Go back out here. We're going to pull that in. Branch. So if we are in a conflict zone, we're not using that. If we're not in a conflict zone, then we do use that. That should be enough. Okay, and then let's see. The other thing we need to do, we actually need to make a conflict zone. So let's do blueprint actor. Let's just do this as an actor. Conflict zone, BP. And this actor is going to have it's probably going to need to be parented to something like a pillar. So it'd be like a structure. I don't want to parent it to a pillar, but I want to find what the pillar is parented to. Parent class is structure base pillar. How about structure base? Let's just parent it to that. So parent blueprint, structure base. Structure base PP, there we go. Okay. And the mesh. Static mesh, for now, let's just do a pillar. I don't know why it's red. That's really weird. Okay, now it's got me questioning it. Oh, it has its own collision mesh too. Daggone it. It's annoying. SM stone pillar, that's part of the problem. That's correct there, alright. You know what? I don't like how any of this is going right now. Let's go back over here. Let's close that down. Let's get rid of that. Yep. Bye. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, just for the simplicity's sake of having it actually work properly. If it'll delete, what's going on? It's taking its sweet time. Did it? I hope it didn't crash. There he goes. Holy cow, that took forever. Okay, so it shut down that other one for some reason. So let's go back into content and let's go to pillar. Scroll all the way to the bottom again. And we're going to find stone pillar. Except for this time, we're going to drag it out and drag it on top of our folder over here. And we're just going to copy it. And instead of it saying pillar stone, it's going to say conflict zone. Boom. So now no guesswork needed. It's just going to work. And so now the other thing that I need to place on here is I need to place a collision, a box collision. That's what I need. Is it a box collision that I need? Okay, anyway, we'll deal with that later, but let's do nope, let's not do that. So I'm going to take it 55,000 to the Z. And the reason for that, and this is going to go 50,000. The reason to do that is so that it reaches all the way to the top, to the game ceiling. I think I'm, again, I might be messing up here. So let me just go check something here. This is where modding comes into play, where like you basically find things on other assets that are in the game. Why is it? It's not moving it though. Let me close it out and come back in. So maybe that's what's going on here. Still. I thought there was like a no. Maybe I need to do a so 0 collision, but let's make sure that there's a damage one. I think that's it. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so let's say shade. Is that the right what I'm looking for here? Dang it. Is it mission zone? Is that what they call them on Genesis? I forget. Missions, yeah, there we go. Dang it. Trying to find... Not that. Trying to find... like the blocks that they put down, like the zones. Let's just do this. Let's do mission zone. That's emission. That's not what I want. So I may not be able to find this just yet. I might have to do some more digging. I don't want to spend that much time looking for it in here. What I'm looking for is just what they use to do the mission cubes that you see when you try to build. When you go to place something down on Genesis and it says, hey, you can't build in these zones over here because they're mission zones. That's what I want to try to find. There was one thing that I saw, and I'm going to go back to and see if it's what I'm looking for or not. It's way up top here. It was below all these. It was this. That's emission though. Bounds maker. There we go. Let's see what this does. That's not going to be what I want it to be. Never mind. Dang it. I say I don't want to spend too much time looking for it, but then I go back to looking for it. So I'm just going to do what I think I need to do with this. This feels like it's not working the way I want it to. Okay, so let's see if we can do. Let's just make our own material. Make it translucent first of all. And we're going to do this kind of like a pinkish red. I'm doing this wrong. It's been a minute. Okay, so just for simplicity's sake, we're going to add this as our material over here. Conflict zone main. And we're going to come over here and say material underscore boom. So that's going to be attached to that. There we go. See, right off the bat, they're not the same. They're not the same sizes. That was weird. So let's just go. Let's just make this bad boy 10,000. Cube. Maybe not 10,000. Let's go 3,000. I don't know why it wants to go crazy like that. Okay, stupid. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. What the heck? What happened? Oh, there it is. Holy crap. Okay, so this is entirely way too big. And yet again, it's not going to show me the correct. All right, well, you know what? Let's just get it so we can place it into the world, and let's go try it. So, First thing we need to do is it needs to consume the correct primal item, which is the conflict zone that we just did. Okay, so that's done, and then we need to, let's just do this, show only modified. Don't care about any of that. Structure 2 build is going to be our conflict zone. Folder paths I don't care about because it's going to be in your inventory. Let's do always learned engram. Let's go back to modified. Time to craft. 0.5. I'm not getting the XP from it. Who cares? Always learned. Conflict zone. We're gonna make this one thatch, but it doesn't really matter because it's doesn't really matter because it's a admin spawned only thing, so it doesn't really matter. And then we have to add it to our, actually I don't because there's no engram for it, so we're cool. Okay, so we're gonna go test it out in the world, see what it kind of looks like, the size of it and everything. Make sure we can walk through it and all that good stuff, and then we'll start adding some code to it. So there we go. You got one of these, and it is right there. And I can't place it, so that's a problem. Why can't I place it? What did I do wrong? I still need to have it over here? Probably do. Yeah, it's not letting me do anything. It tried to shove me under the ground, so I need to make sure that this has no collision. There is no collision, so what the heck? Let's go to custom. this is getting a little out of hand. Why can't I walk in there? That makes sense. Even though I told it to not block all, it's trying to block all. Is there another one that doesn't have? Wow, can't type. This is weird. Like every time I try to do something crazy like this, it's like the simple shit just decides to not want to work. But why? But why? 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 Trying to figure out a workaround. Make sure that I can maybe do something with it. I don't know if I spelled boundary right. I always do that too. I forget that it already puts an SM on there for static mesh. Okay, so if I can get this to actually be able to let me walk through it, then I think we should be in business. What the frick? Okay, I think it's something to do with the way this is parented. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and change the parent class up. There we go. Okay, so now I just need to know. I need to know that I'm in there. So that took forever, and I'm sorry, but we can add an event on begin component overlap. This says cast to shooter character. And we say has buff, because they should have the buff. Nope, I need to get buff. And then I need to cast to said buff so that we can pull information from said buff. Because if I remember right, it's been a minute, but I need to change this. It's in conflict zone. I need to say set is in conflict zone to false, and that should do her. That should do it. And we do the same thing if this is a cast to primal dino character. It's going to do this craziness. So we check for players first, and then we do the rest of this for the dinos as well. Except for the dinos don't have the buff, so we only put the buff on shooter game mode. Okay, so shooter game mode. Stop clawing the chair, bro. Part about stop, don't you understand, cat? Really, we just need to get, is there, hold on. No, not to the game mode, okay. So we need to, your primal dino character, then we're going to cast to primal dino. Okay, so back over here. Now we need to check to see if they have it. If they do, we need to turn that off. And then it should be good to go. So I need to also let's do, nope, that's already cool. Bringing in a pain volume so we can just see what happens. Damage per second 1, structure damage 2. That's really weird. How about visible? No, you got nothing? I'm just gonna do this. Let's. Dang it! I need to go add a something on the screen that shows what's happening. Anyway, let's try to bring in another player. Too much going on for the dev kit for my computer. Streaming and running 2 instances of the game. It doesn't like it. Okay, dude. I love that I just can't do anything. Maybe that was right. Maybe we need to put that up there. And that's going to go there. This is like bugging the crap out of me. Like, why is this not working? It showed up for like a brief second. Okay, so conflict zone says, let's check the collision. There's no collision whatsoever. Generate overlap events is on. Let's do overlap dynamic. Custom. Turn off weapon. enough world dynamic. I don't care about projectile. Let's actually have it do some other stuff for us too. We're going to have a test and tell us whether we've entered or not. Entered or exited. Because for whatever reason, I don't think it's getting... I don't think it was working. What was all that? Oh, there's a guy in here. Enter the conflict zone. Player exited, but it didn't tell me I exited. You've entered a conflict zone. Why is it not telling me I exited the conflict zone? Okay, so let's just see how this goes. Let's see if we get a dilo that is tamed. So that is now our dilo. Let's get it to stop following me. And then let's get it to... Let's leave the tribe, actually. Let's make a tribe. Then we're going to leave the tribe. Tamed dino should not be able to do damage to me. Cannot do damage. Okay, cool. How about in here? Still can't do damage. So that didn't get turned off. Because that's going to happen. Oh, okay. So the adjust damage happens prior to, so I can't put it in there. I need to actually adjust the damage on my own. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Daggone it. Alright, so let's do this. Adjust damage. Okay, what if I say I'm going to take a couple minute break here, go grab something to drink, kind of get up and walk around. And I got to think about this because I think what I need to do is put some sort of a boolean or some sort of something in here that's going to check for the state of that variable before going down these roads. Like it'll say, okay, damage is coming in. Okay, check the state. If the state is whatever, then do this. Otherwise, do the normal damage. So that's what I need to do. I think I can just do that with this, but I'm gonna check on that. But I'll be back. I need to go to the restroom. I need to grab something to drink, and I need to clear my head for just a second. I just need to get up and walk around. So, be right back. That's not gonna work. Let's see. What if I do this, but then I just do that. Okay. I went and had a glass of water, walked around for a bit, and thought about this. So I think what I need to do, I'm already checking for this. I think that'll do it. Because what that's going to do is that's going to say, that's going to check for if we have changed it or not, because it is changing. I can't take any damage at all. Why is it not counting that I've left? Or why is entering it not doing what it's supposed to do? I don't think it's going to work here. I don't think it's going to matter. But I can go try it. Now why? All right. I need to do some more research. It's also getting kind of late, so I probably need to call it a night here. And I will pick this back up probably tomorrow, afternoon, evening time frame, around the same time. Evening to late evening is what I mean. Sorry, like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. somewhere around there. Is I'll go live again, and we'll try to finish this up. But until then, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.